girl named Sarah. She was a high school student, living with her parents in a quiet suburb. She was a friendly and curious girl, known for her love of reading and her fascination with gadgets. Sarah's phone had recently broken, and she was in desperate need of a new one. However, her parents couldn't afford to buy her a brand new smartphone, so she decided to look for a second-hand one. One Saturday morning, while browsing through an online marketplace, Sarah found an ad for a smartphone being sold at a very low price. The ad mentioned that the phone was in perfect condition and had only been used for a few months. Excited by the bargain, she contacted the seller and arranged to meet him at a small electronics shop in the town center. The shop was small and cluttered, with shelves packed with all kinds of electronic devices. As Sarah entered, a bell above the door tinkled, and a man with a scruffy beard and a kind smile greeted her. "Hello, you must be Sarah," the man said, extending his hand. "I'm Tom. I believe you're here for the phone." "Yes, that's right," Sarah replied, shaking his hand. "Thanks for meeting me." Tom led her to the back of the shop where he pulled out a sleek, black smartphone from a drawer. It looked almost brand new, and Sarah's excitement grew. "This phone has a bit of history," Tom said, handing it to her. "It belonged to someone who, well, let's just say it had some unusual features. But it works perfectly." Sarah didn't think much of the cryptic comment. She was too thrilled to have found such a good deal. After a quick inspection and some brief small talk, she paid Tom and left the shop with her new phone. That evening, Sarah sat in her room, transferring her data to the new phone. It was smooth and fast, and she was delighted with her purchase. She spent the next few hours setting up apps, downloading music, and texting her friends about her new acquisition. Later that night, as she lay in bed, she noticed something strange. The phone vibrated softly, and a notification popped up. It was a picture message from an unknown number. Curious, Sarah opened it. The photo was of an old house, dark and dilapidated, with broken windows and an overgrown yard. A chill ran down her spine as she stared at the image. She didn't recognize the house and had no idea who had sent the message. Ignoring the uneasy feeling, Sarah put the phone down and tried to sleep. But just as she was drifting off, the phone vibrated again. Another photo message. This time, the picture was of a shadowy figure standing in front of the same house. Sarah's heart pounded. She locked the phone and placed it face down on her nightstand, determined to deal with it in the morning. The next day, Sarah met her best friend, Emily, at a local cafe. Emily was the type of friend who was always up for an adventure and had a keen interest in the supernatural. If anyone could help her figure out what was going on, it was Emily. "Emily, something weird happened last night," Sarah said, showing her the photos on the phone. "I got these pictures from an unknown number. Do you recognize this house?" Emily studied the photos, her eyes widening with recognition. "Sarah, I've seen this house before. It's on Elm Street, just outside of town. People say it's haunted. No one's lived there for years." A shiver ran down Sarah's spine. "Haunted? Are you serious?" "Yeah," Emily replied. "There was a fire about 20 years ago. A family lived there, the Harpers. They all died in the fire. Since then, people have claimed to see strange things around the property." Sarah's curiosity mixed with fear. "Do you think the phone might be connected to them somehow?" Emily shrugged. "Who knows? Maybe it's worth checking out. We could go there and see if we find anything unusual." That evening, just before sunset, Sarah and Emily arrived at the old Harper house. The place looked even more eerie in person, with its charred, crumbling walls and twisted remains of what once were beautiful gardens. The air was thick with the smell of decay and abandonment. The girls cautiously approached the house, their footsteps crunching on the gravel driveway. The front door creaked open with a nudge, revealing a dark, musty interior. Using the flashlight on her phone, Sarah illuminated the space as they stepped inside. Cobwebs draped from the ceiling, and the wooden floorboards groaned under their weight. The house seemed to whisper with the ghosts of its past. They explored the first floor, finding nothing but dust and debris. However, as they climbed the stairs to the second floor, they noticed something odd. One of the rooms was surprisingly clean and tidy, as if someone had recently been there. Inside the room, there was a desk with an old, dusty typewriter, and pinned to the walls were photographs of the Harper family. In one corner, An old wooden wardrobe stood eerily upright. Emily walked over to the wardrobe and opened it slowly. Inside were old clothes, moth-eaten and yellowed with age. But tucked in the back, almost hidden, was a small box. Emily pulled it out and placed it on the desk. Sarah opened the box to reveal a collection of old photographs, similar to the ones she had received on her phone. One picture, in particular, caught her eye. It was of a young boy holding a black smartphone, identical to the one she now owned. "This must be Edward," Sarah whispered, showing the photo to Emily. "He's the one who used to own the phone." Emily nodded. It looks like he was really into photography. Maybe the phone was special to him. Just then, the phone in Sarah's hand vibrated again. Another photo message. This time, it was a picture of the room they were standing in, but with Edward in it, standing right where Sarah was. She gasped, dropping the phone. "This is getting really creepy," Sarah said, her voice shaking. "We need to figure out what Edward wants." Emily picked up the phone and looked at the picture closely. "I think he's trying to communicate with us. Maybe he wants us to do something." Sarah looked around the room, trying to piece together the clues. Then she noticed a small, ornate box on the desk, partially hidden under some papers. She opened it to find a letter inside, addressed to Edward's parents. The letter was written in a childish scrawl and read, "Dear Mum and Dad, I've made something amazing with my phone. It can capture more than just pictures. It can capture moments and memories. I want to show you, but I need to finish it first. Love, Edward." Sarah felt a pang of sadness. He was trying to show them something special. Maybe he didn't get the chance because of the fire. Emily nodded. If the phone can capture memories, maybe it's holding on to Edward's spirit and the memories of that night. Sarah took a deep breath. We need to help him. Maybe if we take a picture of this letter in the room, it will free him. With trembling hands, Sarah used the phone to take a picture of the letter and then another of the room. As soon as she snapped the photos, the phone vibrated one last time. A message appeared on the screen, "Thank you." A sudden, gentle breeze swept through the room, rustling the papers and lifting the heavy atmosphere. The girls felt a sense of peace and calm settle over them, as if a weight had been lifted. "I think it's over," Emily said softly. "We helped him move on." Sarah nodded, tears welling in her eyes. "I'm glad we could help." As they left the house, the sun was setting, casting a warm glow over the abandoned property. The eerie feeling was gone, replaced by a sense of tranquility. Sarah and Emily walked back home, their bond strengthened by the strange and haunting experience they had shared. From that day on, Sarah kept the phone as a reminder of the incredible journey they had been through. She realized that sometimes the past reaches out to us in unexpected ways, seeking closure and peace. And though it had been a terrifying ordeal, she felt grateful for the opportunity to help Edward and his family find their peace. The haunted phone, once a source of fear, became a symbol of compassion and understanding. It taught Sarah to embrace the unknown and to always be open to the mysteries that life might bring, no matter how strange or frightening they may seem.